Hey, happy Tuesday. Happy book review day. Today's book is Visual Thinking by Temple Grandin. The Hidden Gifts of People Who Think in Pictures, Patterns, and Abstractions. So I really enjoy Temple Grandin. If you don't know who she is, I mean, probably the easiest way is to watch like the docu-film that was done a while ago about her. She's on the autism spectrum. She um, talks really openly about what it's like being autistic and how that has helped her in a lot of ways. It's really kind of made her career, which was primarily focused around animal slaughter and, well, animal treatment in general. But one of her kind of groundbreaking innovations was the hug kind of blanket, like the weighted blanket. The animals like that kind of closure. And she found that was something that was beneficial to her. She also kind of worked out why cattle would freak out when they were going to slaughter, which, I mean, anyway, but she came up with kind of a circle path because she found that cattle like moving in circles and curves much more than going in straight lines or kind of making harsh turns. So, anyway, she's super interesting, and this book is an extension of that. I mean, it really talks about her visual thinking and one of the things she does really nice in there is she talks about being a spectrum. You're not all verbal or all visual. There's far extremes to that, of course, and then people sit anywhere in between there, and she really talks a lot about the different benefits to visual thinking. um, Often we think of um, I think the focus in general on disabilities, are the negatives. And she does a really good job of saying, like, autism has given me a lot of gifts. Here are things that I can do or see that other people overlook. And then she, in part of the book, she tracks geniuses, and then identifies what they probably were undiagnosed as, whether that's ADHD or OCD or autism or Asperger's or any number of these other conditions that we think of as a disability. And she focused on really their strengths and what um, what that brings that they wouldn't have had otherwise in that experience. In that section, she talks about the importance of partnership and how engineers and architects work together because they work in very different formats. One is more form and the other is more function, and how it's important to have a blend of those two. And of course, computer designers and the people who run a lot of the Silicon Valley companies, and how the partnerships are really important and how they balance each other and those kind of things. But um, it was a really interesting book. I love those books that give me an insight into how somebody else sees the world. And that's something that Temple Grandin does a wonderful job of, is really providing a completely unique look at the world, and being very unabashed about it. Like, no, this is my experience. This isn't everybody's experience who's on the autism spectrum. This is my experience, and she does that. And it's just really interesting to for me to experience that. And I have um I don't know. I have certain things that I wonder about, and reading this in some ways were validating of some of the things that I've kind of struggled with as well. So anyway, I would definitely recommend Visual Thinking by Temple Grandin. I listened to it. And if you listen to the audiobook, Temple Grandin does like the introduction and then the afterword. But otherwise, there's another person doing the reading. But what are you reading? Thanks. Bye.